Dame Pearlette was an extremely fashion-conscious head of state, always in matching attire with her now famous hats.
It wasn't always easy to get, the outfits locally. So I did get them from, from outside of St. Lucia, either the US or the UK. And so, depending on in some of the fashion houses, the whole outfit is there. I mean, the shoes, to match. So I did quite a bit of that. But, this was an expensive venture. So when it came to the hats in particular, every now and then I would, depending on the occasion, I would tweak it, go down to sewing center, get myself a few flowers and what's her name, Miss James, every time, at Independence or something, and she sees me appear, she says, Your Excellency, I have I know what it is you want. So I would take it, and fix up the hats to match, get the colors. And so there was this blending and so. But, and I would do it myself, I mean, with my glue gun or.
Any concerns about your color scheme? I recall many times the reaction of party supporters in relation to your attire. How were you able to navigate this potentially perilous outcome?
The blue outfits and a lot of green outfits. I seldom, if it was a national event, I made sure that I didn't have anything that was red or too red or yellow. Except once, now it wasn't yellow, as I said, it was, the color was chartreuse. And it's a kind of green thing, and I'm feeling quite good about my chartreuse, outfit. Only to find out that when it came out on the TV and the camera, the thing is that yellow. And that was the year Sir John came back. And,
at the Prime Minister's house.
Prime Minister's house. Yeah. And there I arrived in my chartreuse, which turned out to be yellow in the eyes of some. And the last time, maybe my last round speech, I had a fuchsia hat on top. And from afar, or again, I had to tell one of the cameramen, you better change the setting, the color setting on your camera. I said, she's in red, And I said, it's not red, it's fuchsia. I don't know if it is only men who complain because they weren't quite sure about colors. But so it was, and I have to admit I was very careful because I expected that. But so that's why I ended up with a lot of blue and green. Because I like vibrant colors, So I have peach and coral and blue and green, The only time I stuck to my red was Christmas, because I say, Christmas is Christmas.
The Dame is still a very down-to-earth person who likes to do things in a particular way. And oftentimes we'd go visit and she'd be sitting in her room stitching an outfit because it didn't fit quite right. And so she would sit there. She would hand stitch, close in on something, fix something, add a flower to her hat, put a different color ribbon or something of that nature. So yes, we got involved in these kinds of things and picking out which shoe should go with the outfit and that kind of thing. So that was one of the joys of going into her wardrobe, if you want to call it that. Yes, she always has been, and I dare say I think I learned some of that from her. Not just dotting the I's and crossing the T's when it comes to maybe writing or language, but anything that she does, also in terms of organization. So that is something that I learned from herself and my mom, the way you do things, that you have things done in a particular way, there's a particular manner to do things. And so this is something that she still carries with her up to a day like today. In terms of when you look at things like sending out invitations and protocol lists and all of these kinds of things, these were things that were very important to her, and I think to this day still are.
She was absolutely committed to this country. She was fearless. She understood the soul and spirit of this country. She knew our cultural traditions, and she was never afraid to immerse herself and to celebrate. And then she was a people's governor general. I mean, she touched everyone she spoke with. She was at home everywhere in this island. It didn't matter whether it was Labrie or ancillary or canneries. A very important thing about her too, that she knew that we were a relatively young nation, and she wanted to set the tone right. She wanted to get the procedures right. So she invested a lot in ensuring that we understood what protocol meant and how we should handle things like protocol. She brought a deep intelligence to the office, and it was really very comforting to know that she was exceedingly careful as to how she handled government documents, government records, and the fact that she was a former teacher was a great asset, as I told you earlier on. But apart from all of that, she was a consummate diplomat, exceedingly sensitive. She knew when to press the pedal, lift her foot off the pedal, and of course carry on from there. So she had a very rare touch. And of course, the external countries, foreign countries, loved her dearly because they were able to relate to her. I know the French, for example, always enjoyed the moments when she spoke to them or addressed them in French, especially on their big Republic Day, because then she opted to speak French and then break into English at some point. And the office was not remote in the sense that people saw the office, Governor General's residence, and she was locked away, far away from people. She immersed herself in the life of the people of St. Lucia. And the demand, and you could judge that from the demands made on her time. And she was constantly invited to events and to serve as patron of so many groups and so many organizations. So she brought, as I said, honor, character, and inclusivity, real class, you put it nicely, real class to the post of Governor General. And I think she has set the tone for future Governor Generals in this country. And who can ever forget her hats? The stuff of legends. I mean, Dame Pearlette influenced so many women with hats in this country. And as you know, after a while, it was a matter of style to have to order hats and so on, and to wear hats on special occasions. And it was done with great mirth, great interest, and a lot of class. And I think she was very anxious to preserve the traditions of this country, and she was very jealous to guard this country exceedingly well and to make sure that future generations got a country that they were proud of.
Okay, so one of the biggest things for us was, as we mentioned earlier, just her accepting the position and becoming Governor General. For our family, that was really a special moment. And during her tenure, I believe when various milestones, for example, 10 years as Governor General, 20 years as Governor General, so these milestones further enhanced that sense of pride, that sense of, belief in her that we had. So these were some of the milestones. The other thing that when we speak about her eye for detail, I don't know if you recall the garden at Government House.
I do.
Even her current garden, you can see, the meticulous nature in which it is kept and so on. So that eye for detail and that it's just part of her in whatever it is she does.